everybody, and welcome on this day after Christmas, the 26th of December, to my 100th day in Spain, and my 100th episode of my daily vlogs. Yeah, it's exciting to think it's only been 100 days, but it's already been 100 days, but it's been a whole 100 days, and it's just crazy. So I'm gonna go out now and get something to eat, and come back, watch a few videos, and maybe I'll venture out and do something to celebrate. We'll see, but I'll try to make it interesting. Yeah, catch you later. Hello everybody, I'm walking back from wonderful meal with a full stomach. Ooh, it's cold, but it's not that cold. It's not like super cold, it's just cold enough for it to be colder than I would like it to be. So yeah, thought I'd pop over. Say hi, how you doing? These little shops are taking a slight turn. You see Christmas stuff there still, but kind of off to the side, with like party hats and things. Kind of getting ready for New Year's now, which is the next thing on the horizon. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything else today or not. Probably throw a second jacket on underneath this before I do, though. Windy. That's the biggest problem. Is it's windy more than anything else. It's not Christmas anymore. Alright. So yeah, this has been, I guess, kind of dull. So we'll see if I do anything else later or not, but not immediately in the middle of a show I was watching while I was eating. Catch you later. Hello. In honor of this being my 100th day in Spain, my 100th vlog, I thought I should give my like an overview kind of talk or something. So I came up with a list of 10 things that I learned while living in Spain. So without further ado, here are the 10 things that I learned while living in Spain. Number 10. Spaniards are loud people. I can't think of a number of times when I've been out, or I was at the school. It's probably the most common place I saw this, at the school at lunch. It just gets so loud in there because they're just talking, and they don't take turns talking. They talk one over the other, yelling louder and louder and louder and louder. Just in general, they're very loud people. Number 9. The dogs are very well behaved. Not as much here in Madrid as it was last year when I was in there. You'd see dogs walking around without a leash. They'd walk right past other dogs, wouldn't flinch at all, do exactly what they're supposed to do. Their master would be way ahead of them, and they would just stop, do something to catch up to them, or their owner would stop, and they'd walk a ways and then stop, turn back, and go. Sometimes I saw them just sitting outside of a store waiting on their owner. I haven't seen that as much in Madrid, but I've seen it some. I thought that was very interesting. Number 8. It doesn't matter what country you're in. People will still take advantage of you if you can. So the key is to not let that bother you. Just be okay with it. Accept it and turn it into a positive. Number 7. Spanish women are taller on average. This isn't something that I thought would bother me, but just walking down the street as much as I have, I've just been surprised at how many times when walking past a woman, I notice that they are at least as tall as I am. I know there's no real control over how much one person grows within themselves, has to have some sort of control over that. But I mean, it's general consensus that women aren't supposed to be as tall. I know that's, like I said, something you can't control, obviously, but just the general mindset is that women don't typically want to be taller. And so a reason that I came up with, which I know it's no basis in reality, is that 6 foot is considered pretty tall for a woman. And they don't use feet here, they use meters. So without having that barrier, they may not realize the height is as much as it is. I don't know. That whole argument sounds retarded and ridiculous now that I say it out loud, but I needed 10 things, so I put this on my list. Number 6. Movies in English with subtitles in Spanish mean that all subtitles are in Spanish, even when elves are speaking. I saw it in 2 instances with elves. When I saw Thor: Dark World, everything's in Spanish subtitles. But when the Dark Elves were speaking in their language, they actually had the Spanish subtitles, and then they were nice enough to keep the English subtitles down at the bottom. Not the case when I saw The Hobbit: The Desolation of Smaug. When the elves and the orcs were speaking in their language, the subtitles were there in Spanish, just like when they're speaking English, and I can hear them speaking English. Spanish subtitles gives the Spanish meaning for what they're saying, but there was nothing in English to translate it also. So in those instances, I was left trying to understand the Spanish that I was reading and only getting about half of it in the time allowed. So I hope I didn't miss anything, and I'll watch it again in the future to make sure of that. Number 5. Vlogging can be fun. I really didn't know how I was going to go about doing this. At first, I'd seen some other vloggers, and I got a general idea, but I was like, it's going to be pretty dull. I felt like I should try to do more at times. Other times, I just didn't have time to. So, I said the word time a lot there. Anyway, so I just kind of rolled with it, and I said that it was going to be more of a documenting every day type of deal. But I became more and more at ease with speaking to the camera. So, if anyone else has ever thought about vlogging, just get started. It'll be rocky at first, but it'll become more and more smooth, more fluid. You'll hit a stride, a rhythm, everything. So, and hopefully tomorrow we'll do a few things to make the vlog a little bit more interesting. I have a few ideas. We'll see if I actually do them or not. But it's still fun to do. Number 4. Taco Bell is different, but it's still my favorite. There's quite a few different menu items and options at Taco Bell. I've widened my range of what I will and won't eat there, because certain things are a little bit different. The corn shell tastes better than it does back in the States. So I might have a crunchy taco if I really want to. the Crunchwrap Supreme I've started eating because of that. The jalapeno sauce is different, not as good, so I haven't been having quesadillas as much. But they have this sweet item right now called the barbecue quesadilla, which is really good. And it comes with the pork option, which is also something you don't have back in the States, and barbecue sauce on it. It's really good. So yeah, I still go there all the time, even if it's different. It's still Taco Bell, and it's still my favorite. Number 4. Public transportation isn't as scary as most people seem to think it is. I've learned that even more this year in Madrid than last year where I was. Although I learned it there to an extent too. That if the public transportation is there, buses that run frequently, run quickly where they need to go, subways or trains that connect point A to point B, again, as long as they're frequent and everything, and you can get a good spot, it's not too busy in the middle of the day, it's more busy, you can sit down or lean against something and have a railing close enough to grab onto. It's really not that big a deal. Just be aware of what's going on around you, but it's nothing to freak out about. Number 2, YouTube can be your best friend. I mean, if you find some YouTubers that post things, some news channels, gaming channels, things like that, if you enjoy this sort of thing, sorry, I thought my chair was stuck on something, subscribe. See more and more. If you're not going to be watching television as frequently because you don't understand what's on the television, why not have some YouTubers you follow, YouTube channels you subscribe to, and regular stream of videos that you can watch. They're much shorter than regular shows, and you can grab and watch them here and there and wherever. And bouncing off of that, a good website that might have movies or TV shows that you like to watch. You can watch a few things there that way too. But yeah, it can be a lifesaver sometimes. And, ladies and gentlemen, thing number one that I learned while living in Spain. You don't have to speak very good Spanish. You want to speak some Spanish and do the best you can, but you don't have to speak very good Spanish. You just have to be good at looking lost and pathetic when you don't know the word. Try your best. Show that you're trying to understand, you're trying to think of the word. But if you cannot think of it, you just... something like that. And it usually works. Well, they'll either finish your thought for you and get what you're saying, and if they say it in Spanish, typically, if I know the word at all, I just couldn't think of what it is, I'll know when they say it, I guess that's what I meant. Or whatever. You have to look like you're trying. If you just walk up and say, I need English, give me English, it comes off a little bit more arrogant. Whereas if you show you're trying, it works pretty well. And I've gotten along pretty good with that methodology, that way of doing things has been very helpful. So yeah, those are the 10 things that I have learned while living in Spain. And with that, I'm going to call it a night. Started watching Skyfall while I was compiling this list. And so now I have to put all these videos together. Could take some editing. It might be up later tomorrow than it usually is during my time off. We'll see. I'll do my best to put as much of it together as I can tonight, but I have to put some what's the word I'm looking for, graphics together, sort of. And I don't have any great software to do that, so I'm using apps off my iPad, emailing pictures, I'm going to use music I have on my computer and do my best to put that all together. So hopefully, you just saw it, hopefully it looked pretty good. But I don't know yet, I'll have to put it together still. So this wraps up my 100th day in Spain. I have quite a few more to go. I'm only about a third of the way done with my trip, so there'll be a 200th and a 300th vlog most likely in Spain. And my intention is to not stop there, but to continue this every day with hopefully more interesting options back home with my friends and family around, more interesting just day-to-day life type stuff rather than just walking and talking and showing a few things every now and again. So we'll see how it goes, but that's quite a ways in the future before I start thinking about that. Right now I want to streamline it as best I can while still giving interesting enough things. So, good night, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 101. Dalmatians.